ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be sharing you exactly my growth thesis as a fitness coach for 2024 on how I was able to scale multiple fitness companies to over six figures a month and how you can too using this simple strategy with an AI incorporation. Okay. So if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know, should I use AI? Should I even consider AI? Is AI, everyone's talking about AI, ChatGPT this, ChatGPT that. Should I even consider this? Is this something that I should even look at in the first place? In this video, I'm going to pretty much give you a basic rundown of why I think you definitely need to incorporate AI. And if you stick to the end, I'm gonna share with you some really unique insights that I got from a few of my clients and just kind of being in the market and testing this with a few of my other clients and seeing kind of comparison AI versus non-AI, what does better. So let's jump into it. So pretty much recently, I was watching this video. Let me zoom in a little bit. I was watching this video and it was by Sequoia Capital. I would recommend everyone to go watch the video. Just look up Sequoia Capital on YouTube and it's pinned. It's the pinned video. And pretty much what they stated in the presentation is the following. So what they stated is that back in the 60s, pretty much industries build on top of industries. So for example, back in the 60s, that's when all the semiconductors came out. And then systems on top of that, networks, internet, apps, and then mobile, right? So everything kind of stacked on top of each other and built off of each other. And pretty much with each shift, so for example, when it was the end of the 60s and systems were coming out in the 70s, with every shift, pretty much there are billion-dollar businesses that are born from this. So let's look at this, for example. When the internet came out, right? So when Google came out, Yahoo, eBay, when these internet companies came out, and then a few years after it established, etc., and then platforms like YouTube existed or got birthed pretty much, or Facebook got birthed within the internet, right? Think about how big these companies are now, right? So with each kind of process, a new billion-dollar business or sector kind of emerges within that, which is something that pretty much this presentation was talking about. So for example, when, cloud-based softwares, during the introduction of cloud-based softwares, several billion-dollar companies were created. So for example, Zoom, DocuSign, all these companies, these are all billion-dollar companies, Salesforce, and then mobile, Meta, like this is Facebook and Instagram, Uber, Snapchat, all these companies were birthed pretty much in the transitionary period to create a new market, okay? And pretty much what they're predicting is that over 10 to 15 years, this section right here, where there's a few different companies who have AI integration, so obviously ChatGPT is the biggest one, OpenAI, but over 10 to 15 years, this section over here will have this many logos, okay, in about 10 to 15 years, okay? So what they're predicting is on top of mobile, AI is going to be the next big change, okay? For example, if you compare SaaS in the last 1.5 years, AI growth has equaled SaaS, but SaaS growth over 10 years and AI growth over 1.5 years. Okay, so just comparing industries, if AI is growing at, let's say, it's growing literally 5 times faster than SaaS, that amount of growth in such little time is literally unheard of. Okay, so right now, what people are doing is many people are trying to neglect this level of rapid growth by simply just saying, this is just a trend. It will be gone in 2 years. Oh, it's just, it's gone. Like, don't worry about it. It's going to be gone. Okay. I remind you this. In the early 2000s, everyone was doubting the new wave of internet companies. They were saying the same things mentioned today regarding AI. They were saying the same things. Okay. So around the same time, something happened called the dot-com bubble. Many internet companies' capital dried up. Okay, so a lot of funding was going dry, companies were going belly up, etc. And then after this, everyone doubted it, and then it happened, and then they're like, oh, I was right all along. Okay? And then 25 years later, now people are spending 7 hours a day on, literally on average, on the internet in America, watching movies, social media, everyone's on their screen all the time. I work 12 hours a day and I'm on a screen all the time. I'm on my phone. kids are on TikTok all the time now. Okay. So back, everyone doubted it. Now it's the new thing. Look at the same thing with television in the 50s. So right now, I believe there will be two types of people over the next following years. There will be people who ignore and don't believe in AI and just say the same things that everyone says during every transitionary period, or B, people who ride the wave and win. Okay? Ride that transitionary phase and literally create a new market. Okay? So in 1 year, this is a fact, AI will be more creative than the average person. In 5 years, AI will be more intelligent / creative than all humans collectively. That's a very scary thought. Than all humans collectively. That's only 5 years from now. Think about this very objectively for a second. Okay? This means just think about it in 5 years. Think about 10 years. This is exponential, right? Think about how that's going to transform everything that we know, everything that we do, everything that we use. It's going to transform everything. Okay? Things are going to be discovered like that. Things that took 500 years to figure out. Oh, let's figure it out in an afternoon with AI. So I kid you not, in 10 years, our current modern society will be massively different. And I hate to say it, but there's not much that you can really do about it to try to stop AI. Okay? So when I first kind of figured this out myself, I was like, oh shit, okay, this is quite important. This is interesting, but this is like not something to just ignore, especially due to the fact of the next transitionary phase kind of from mobile to AI, and just the growth in general. Pretty much what I came across is an old proverb. And the old proverb says is, if you can't beat them, join them. And it's very true in this case, because a lot of people are trying to beat AI. Oh, you don't need AI. But in many cases, it's better if you just ride the wave instead of fight it. Okay? So how do we ride the AI wave and not get crushed in the fitness market? So this is specifically for people in the fitness market, because I mainly work with fitness coaches. So what are my predictions for the fitness industry with AI? Number one, fitness will not be affected as harshly as other industries. So this is one thing you should realize. Fitness is not going to be affected as harshly as like accounting industries, right? For example, if you're studying accounting in college, your job will be replaced by AI in less than like 6 months. I hate to say it. Unless you have like long-term clients who love who you are as a human, and you have a personal relationship, you're crushed. If you're a software engineer, same thing. There is literally a software engineer AI, it's called Devin. It's the world's first software engineer. You download it. It costs $100, and it's like a full-blown software engineer. It could do the work of like 100 people. It's nuts. Okay. So if you're in these industries, it's a little bit different. Fitness, it's different. So how is this going to affect the fitness market in general then? Okay. So number one, this kind of affects two different categories here. If you're an in-person coach, what you're doing is you're selling a connection. People will stay with you because they have connected with you and enjoy talking for an hour, 3 times per week. AI cannot affect the in-person market because of the demand for human connection. There's already a community built out here. AI is not going to replace a human community. Okay? Number two, if you're an online fitness coach, a little bit of a different story. With online fitness, you aren't losing clients to an AI machine. You could be losing clients to other coaches who are using AI effectively. Okay, let me repeat that. With online fitness coaches, you aren't losing clients to an AI machine. So if you're a software engineer, you're losing clients, you're losing work to a software or to an AI. If you're an online fitness coach, you're not losing clients to an AI machine, but you're losing clients to other coaches who are utilizing AI effectively. Okay? So with this in mind, specifically as an online fitness coach, I'm more speaking towards how do you use this effectively? This can even apply a little bit to in-person, but mostly online. Okay? Number one, it's 3 things I'm going to walk you through. Number one, start a community. So human connection always sells. So no matter what, in an ever-changing market with so many things going on, so much innovation happening in such little time, what can you always rely on? Human connection. Always. Humans are always going to want to connect with other humans. Okay, people are always going to want a community. And even just in general, if you're an online fitness coach, you probably already don't have a community. So just by having a community, that's going to be different for you in the first place. Okay, so you can position yourself to simply avoid having to compete by building your own means of human connection, which will never get old. Look at cultures, for example. Like, look at the Italian culture. Just like think about how long that has lasted for. Pasta, I probably sound stereotypical here. Pasta, pizza, certain dances. I'm Hungarian, for example. My background is Hungarian, and that culture of the Hungarian culture has lasted for thousands of years. That's one thing that lasts, right? What is that? That's community. Okay, so if you have a community, it's always going to sell. Okay, I'm going to dive into this a little bit deeper, but long-term communities will always be in demand. Amidst innovation, community will be prevalent. There will also be AI opportunities within communities, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Okay, so look at people like Luke Belmore with Capital Club. Look at people like Richard Cooper. These are just a few of the people who are really going all in on community building and really prioritizing community building right now, because a lot of the other, it's the only thing that's really uncommoditized, because you can't commoditize a community. A community is always going to be unique. You can commoditize a software engineer who's going to be just running numbers. You can commoditize a mathematician. Okay? Look at Andrew Tate with the War Room. These are people who are going and promoting their communities. I know Andrew Tate has other programs as well, but these are people who are seeing, oh shit, okay, there is, some opportunity with communities in this kind of ever-changing market. Okay? Number 2 is leveraging content. Okay? So having an audience will always be massively important. So, for example, one of my mentors, I hired him quite a while ago. And what I was doing with him is I paid him like $10K. I'm like, hey man, want to join your program? Paid him like $10K. It was quite a lot for me at the time. And I was working with him for like a few months. And then he gave me some advice. Like, we worked together for a bit. And then after 2 months, he stopped doing what he was doing for mentorship. And then I pretty much asked him, I was like, he was making around $40K a month. And he quit his business because he wanted to try to make some sort of business opportunity within an AI business model. And pretty much what he did is he quit because it was lots of work to create content and continually get new people in the door. He was relying on making content. He was relying on making YouTube videos. He was relying on making reels, etc., to get people in the door. And that was a lot of work, right? So you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. And then a few months later, this was quite recently, he's like, dude, I regret it. He's like, if I held off for 6 more months, I would have fully been able to automate content with AI. So the thing he quit his business model for, right, could have saved him, which is crazy. So for example, if you have an AI bot, this is what he explained to me. This is quite interesting. Having an AI bot that knows everything about you, your topics of interest, what you don't like, how you talk, everything about you, what you do, everything about your personality, to literally create content for you. Not even scripting the entire video, like making the video. Like, I know people are like, oh, just ChatGPT makes a script for me. No. Like, literally the AI just say like, hey, make 10 pieces of content, and like it makes the actual reel with like an AI version of you, stuff like that. Okay. Obviously, it's going to get better over time, but if you have something like you can't compete with someone who's pumping 10 reels a day, 3 pieces of YouTube a day, a few podcasts a day, and it's all centered around you. That's just a volume game. You're going to get slammed long term. You're going to get slammed if you have AI on your side. Especially, this is a massive one, because it's always, having an audience is never going to go away. You're always going to need an audience. Okay. And the way to build an audience is to post quality things. Okay. And what AI can do is it can provide you with a lot of quality things. Obviously, it's not going to be the best. It's not the best right now, and it's not going to be the best for a little bit, but long term, it's going to be massive. Okay. So you're always going to want to have an audience, and having an audience is going to differentiate you. Let's say you're the best. Let's say if I look up best software engineer in the world on Google, and someone's name comes up, that guy is never going to get replaced no matter how many AI bots there are. Never, right? Why? Because he has some sort of status. He has some sort of personal branding, if that makes sense. Okay? So pretty much, kind of going back to my mentor story, I asked him, I was like, dude, is this something that would be valued if AI is going to take over content posting? Like, I was like, if everyone's doing AI content posting, why is anyone going to value an audience? And he said, people are always going to want to connect with people, so leveraging content to get eyeballs will still be very important. People don't connect with algorithms or a faceless Instagram page. People want to connect with personality, flaws, etc., and most of all, connect with you on an emotional level. Humans are very good at picking out something that is not human. So for example, have you ever seen like an AI generated face and it looks so real, but you see like some super small movement in the way like the mouth moves, and you're like, yeah, it's not human. It's not human, right? Your subconscious brain is so good at picking that stuff out, okay? And it programs, it's like a trick mechanism, and it wants you to connect with people that are human, and it's going to always be that way. You're never going to avoid that. So the more you can do in terms of like connecting with you and building yourself, very important. Content is very important. Having you on there to connect with you, not like, I'm sure you get DMs from people who are like a faceless Instagram page. It's like, brother, I don't even know who you are. Like, it's super weird. Okay. So pretty much whoever can utilize AI to make the most amount of high quality content that is still personal will win. If you are posting manually and figuring out what you're going to say, you will get screwed by AI. If you're like, oh, let me post the video, let me script it out, let me film it, let me edit it, it's just a pain in the bum. Okay. Even just editing, like that's a massive bottleneck that AI can fill super easily. Okay. So, like for example, I met this fitness coach not too long ago who spends over 2 full days of the week simply creating content. So she'll make around 24 pieces of content during that time. So within 24 hours, 12 hours a day. And AI within a few months will be able to do that within a matter of seconds. Okay? Within a matter of seconds. So this girl who's spending 2 days will get crushed if she doesn't know how to adapt. Because it is not the strongest or the fastest who survive. It's the ones who are the most adaptable who will survive. So it's not these features that everyone says, oh, I got to get stronger, I got to get faster. No, you got to get more adaptable. Okay? If you look at nature, is it the strongest mouse? Is it the fastest mouse? Is it the mouse with hops that can jump? No. It's the mouse that's black that's going to survive, right? Because over time, if all the mice are black, then they're all going to survive. If all of them are beige, and there's one black one, that one black one is going to go on and reproduce. This is just natural selection. The same things that it's going to happen in business. It's just how things work over time. Okay. So that is all about content. So you're going to have to leverage content to have a flywheel of content being spat out all the time. And you can get that automated with AI. Okay. Third and final point about AI for a fitness person. Okay. So this is all about leveraging the back end, leveraging fulfillment, which is accountability and programming. For example, let's say I gave you 500 clients. Your business would fall apart. Okay? I talked to so many fitness coaches who are like, oh, I can handle 30 clients a month. Oh. No, you can't. Shut up. You can't handle 30 clients a month. You don't have the infrastructure to do that. Okay? So, if you are like most fitness coaches, you are probably doing the following. This is what most fitness coaches do. Hey, let's onboard new clients. Create a plan, diet plan, workout plan, etc. Check-ins, accountability. It's good. It's not a lot of fulfillment, but it also is a lot of fulfillment. It's way too much. Even if this takes you an hour to do, and then you do a check-in, it's waste of time. Okay? This process, like even though if it's not a lot of fulfillment on your end, okay, it still results in a fairly high churn rate. The reason why churn rate on something like this is high is because it's very similar to what everyone else is doing, and there's not a lot of accountability, there's not a lot of touch points, there's no community, etc. Okay, this is why I'm using Skool to provide a human element to the fitness communities and the fitness businesses that I'm working with. So everyone's doing the same shit. Oh, just send me a photo every fucking Sunday. Like people are going to be like, oh, like they're not going to stay motivated, right? Oh, just text me whenever. Like, really? Like there's so many things that just don't really work. And while everyone's just saying, hey, text me whenever, send me a check-in, I'm trying to provide a human element and leverage the back end, leverage fulfillment by actually, like I said, incorporating school to provide a human element. Because at the end of the day, AI will love communities. Like I said before, AI will not be able to replace human connection or replace meeting points for humans. It will not be able to do that. For example, like me and my girlfriend having a relationship is not going to get replaced by AI unless like that's not going to happen anytime soon per se. Okay. Me going to family dinner, that's not going to get replaced by me having a family dinner with AI bots. That's not going to happen. Okay. So what happens is you have these two things that are complete opposites pretty much. AI, which is very math, logic based. And then you have communities, which are more human connection based. These things are opposites and they're not going to be able, like AI is not going to take over communities and stuff like that. So what's going to happen is instead of them trying to take over one another, they're just going to team up. Okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to see a lot of mutualistic relationships between AI and communities. So over the following years, you'll see AI have integration within communities, feeding off each other like mutualism. So for example, another biology reference, humans and gut bacteria. The gut bacteria breaks down our food for us, so benefit to us, and then we give it a place to live. Bees and flowers spreading pollen. Okay, mutualism. Ants and aphids. The aphids provide the food to the ants. The ants provide some sort of protection. Very interesting stuff. Win-win. It's just a win-win relationship with AI and school. They are two or AI and communities. They are two organisms that are going to feed off each other eventually. They're going to be these two things that win long term. Okay. So for example, obviously you don't see it right now. Like if you go on school, if you go on these community sites, there's no AI integration, but long term, AI is going to be able to do everything for you. So for example, the biggest role AI will play within communities is accountability and programming. These are literally the biggest bottlenecks within the success of a person with a fitness program. So current situation, I'm fat, desired outcome, I want to get skinny, program to follow, and then actually having the mindset, accountability, and motivation to do that. Okay? What the future is going to look like with this in mind is this. Client onboards. I believe that this is the best thing for me to do this. They pay the invoice. They sign the agreement, whatever. They complete an onboarding form, right? And then AI will go through the answers. You're not even going to go through the answers. Their weight, their height, what have they done before, etc., and find an exact fit in terms of program, in terms of accountability, how much they're following up with them for accountability, how many check-ins. Positioned as you, it's not like, oh, Larry the AI bot is following up with you. It's you that's texting them. It's under your name, but it's AI. Okay? And AI is doing all of this. So it's going to do all the programming, all the check-ins, everything for you, fully customized to solve for metrics that keep the client the longest, keep them happy within the community, etc. Okay? And get them within that community so that they can connect with other humans. Do you see where I'm going with this? Does this make any sort of sense to you? So they have AI to do all of the programming, accountability, motivation, follow-up, and they're already going to be getting a lot of connection, accountability, and motivation from just connecting with other humans and seeing what they're doing, etc. So if you're a fitness coach, if you want to understand, if you pretty much, want to integrate AI, if you're like, how do I get started with this? The number one thing that I would do is start a school community. This is the best thing that you can do. And then pretty much scale the hell out of this community, because having a school community will always, last, especially during potential hard times. I have tons of videos on my channel that go over school. I would definitely go check out some of my more recent videos on school to find a little bit more information there. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your evening. Cheers.